Come on, honey. Wake up. Happy birthday, baby. Come on. Make a wish. Blow out the candle.
This is the nicest birthday I've ever had.
It's just the beginning. You've got a whole day of surprises ahead of you.
Well,
I even got coffee ready.
it already worked. I got my wish.
That's what you wished for, a cup of coffee?
When I married you, all my wishes came true. There's nothing else to wish for.
I love you, Max Decker.
I love you, Rena Decker.
Did you sleep well last night?
It's good to be in my own bed again.
I think Courtney was crazy to have released you from the hospital so soon.
Kate, Courtney would have never let me come home unless she knew I was all right.
Are you all right, Ginny?
Yes, I'm fine.
Well, then let me fix you some breakfast. You know, you got to start eating something so you'll get your strength back.
This tea was fine. Maybe I'll have something a little later. Thanks. Kate, you've been wanting to ask me a question ever since you walked in this room. What is it?
Why the big rush to get married in the hospital yesterday? What's going on between you and Barrett?
Hello.
Hello, Iris. This is Justin Marshall.
Well, Justin, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, and how are you? I'm fine.
I'm quite well, thank you. I appreciated that little note you sent after Alex's party. That was very thoughtful of you.
Well, my mother once grounded me for 2 weeks because I didn't send a letter to Mrs. Bellman after Rena's 8th birthday party. I've never forgotten that.
Justin, you're absolutely mad.
Well, that may be true, too. Is Alex anywhere around?
No, he went over to the country club to play a round of golf.
Well, will he be going into the office today?
For a while, but I'm not sure how long he's planning to stay. May I give him a message for you?
No, thanks. I'll just call the World Oil office later this morning.
All right.
Thanks, Iris. Bubba, it's Justin Marshall. Are you still interested in making the deal? Well, you don't have to worry about Alex Wheeler. I'm sure I can bring him around.
Texas, starring Beverly McKenzie.
Oh. Oh, no. Wait a minute. fix you a sensible breakfast now, if you like.
Oh, no. Oh, I love this. Thanks, honey. It was delicious.
Welcome. Hey, where you going?
Well, I gotta get dressed. I gotta go to work. Why don't you stay here and sleep a little while?
Maybe for a little while. But then I have got to go into Houston, and I gotta buy you a present.
Well, what was this?
It's just a beginning, like I told you. Honey, if you had a say in your present, what would you like?
I'd like to go fishing this weekend. I'd like to take you with me. Would you go with me?
If you do something for me.
Well, what is it?
Let me take you out to dinner tonight.
Honey, you know how I hate fancy restaurants.
I don't want to go to a fancy restaurant. I want to take you to Stryker and Vicky's.
You do?
Mm-hmm. They want to help celebrate your birthday, too.
Well, family supper might be sort of nice.
I think you have a good time, darling.
Okay, it's a deal. I gotta phone Barrett, though, and see if he's gonna need me this weekend.
Oh, honey, you've worked every weekend for the past 2 months.
Yeah, I know, but with Ginny home from the hospital, Barrett may want to be nearer.
How's Jenny?
Well, she's getting better. Looks like she's gonna keep the baby.
Glad to hear that. I'm sorry you didn't get to be Barrett's best man at the wedding, though.
Well, there just wasn't enough time to get into town for the ceremony.
Honey, why didn't they wait till Ginny got out of the hospital for the wedding ceremony?
Well, all I know is what Barrett told me last night. He said that the ceremony was Ginny's idea, and he went along with it.
We were going to be married last week. Then I collapsed.
You could have waited until you were released from the hospital, until you were feeling better.
Well, it doesn't matter now, Kate.
You didn't know about the wedding ceremony, did you? Why was Barrett so insistent that it take place yesterday?
It's done now. We had to get married, remarried someday. Why not yesterday?
Is that what you really wanted?
Why did you ask me that?
Because I have a feeling you were trapped. And I don't want you to be trapped. Now, even if Barrett is my grandson, I don't want that for you, Ginny. Or for Barrett either.
I'm going to make this work, Kate. I promise I will.
Thanks for your time, Alex. I know you don't put in a full day here yet. I appreciate your hearing me out.
My pleasure, Justin.
If we don't move on this by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, I'm afraid we're going to lose it.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
That doesn't give you much time to convince Bubba to make the concessions we want.
No, but I'm going to give it my best shot, and I'll check back with you.
You understand no concessions, no deal, right?
Yes, I understand that. Thanks.
Bye.
Goodbye. Bye.
Well, you haven't had much to say, Ryan. What do you think of the deal?
I don't like it.
Is it the deal you're against, or is it Justin Marshall?
Hello? Anybody home?
Good morning, honey.
Oh, hi, Mama. Anything I could do to help out with the party tonight?
No, Vivian seems to have everything under control.
Vivian, where's Beth?
Oh, well, Beth's sister is getting married this weekend in Amarillo, so I gave her 3 days off.
Oh, Why couldn't Beth's sister get married next weekend?
Honey, I've hired 2 waiters to help Vivian. Now, we'll get along just fine without Beth. What time are you and Max planning to arrive tonight?
Oh, about 7:30, I hope.
Oh, well, the other guests are invited for 7.
I know, but Max is involved in drilling a water well or something out in the range, so he doesn't know what time he can be back at the cabin. We'll be here as close to 7 as we can, all right?
All right. I tried to call Max earlier about the menu.
Did you reach him?
No, I didn't.
Oh. Well, honey, anything you fix will be just fine as long as it's beef and potatoes. I think that husband of mine could eat beef 7 days a week.
He's a Texan, darling. How are you 2 getting along?
Just fine. Where's Daddy? Is he at the office?
No, he's in Washington.
Washington.
Yes, he left this morning.
Business for Alex Wheeler?
No, for the Victory Network.
Oh, yeah, that station you're thinking of buying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what time do you think he'll be back this afternoon? Maybe I can meet him at the airport.
Oh, he won't be back until Sunday evening.
You mean he won't be here for the party?
No. Now, he said he'd call.
But I was counting on him. He's gonna make everyone feel comfortable, keep the talk going, make sure that everyone had a good time.
Rena, dear, I have had some experience as a hostess.
Well, this is different. It was important to Max that Stryker be here.
I think it's much more important to you. You know, Rena, I think it's about time you learn to stand on your own 2 feet and stop leaning on your father.
Tonight's not the time. This party is too important.
And we'll all do our best to make sure that Max has a wonderful time. And all his friends are going to be here.
Beth won't be here. Daddy won't be here.
Rena, dear, listen to me. Now, this party was your idea, and it's up to you to make it a big success. Now, you've given lots of parties before. You're a wonderful hostess. I think Max will have a good time.
And if he doesn't, you can chalk up another failure to my marriage. Won't take many more, I can tell you that.
Honey, Max agreed to come to the party, and I'm sure he's planning on having a good time. So why don't you just relax and enjoy yourself? No. I'm sure everything's going to work out just fine.
Jeb, get your feet off the bed.
Why?
Because what if your shoes are muddy? Are they muddy?
No, they're not.
Come on, get off
They're
the
not.
bed. Please get your feet off the bed.
No. I'm not getting off until you tell me what happened yesterday.
Oh, Jeb, not you too.
Come on, now, you said you'd tell me later. This is later. Come on, Ginny, what's the story?
Barrett walked into the hospital room with Reverend Wilkins and Mr. Harper and Kate. I didn't know what to say.
How about the truth? You're not ready to get married yet.
I couldn't say that in front of all those people.
The hell with all those people, Ginny. You're talking about your future and your happiness.
Well, as long as the baby's all right, I'll be happy.
I cannot figure out why Barrett would pull some kind of a setup like that.
Neither can I.
I'm gonna go talk to Barrett.
No, Jeb, please. Please leave well enough alone. Barrett and I are married now. We have to make the best of it.
What about Ryan, huh?
Ryan's part of the past. The only thing I'm concerned about is the future.
$12 million is a lot of money to commit on such short notice.
Well, that's true, but we've committed much more on much less notice in the past.
Ashley, look, could you please get the Mason folder out of my files?
Well, of course, Mr. Connor.
Ryan, you still haven't answered my question. Is it the deal you're opposed to, or is it Justin Marshall?
I'm opposed to some of the men Justin's dealing with.
Now, you know I have no hard feelings toward them.
Neither do I. I just don't like the way some of these guys do business. Now, I've refused to work with him in the past. I don't think we should get involved with him now.
Now, Justin has checked it out thoroughly, and I'm inclined to go along with it.
Well, it's your company. You can run it any way you want.
I intend to, but I appreciate your caution, Ryan. Now, Bubba may balk at the concessions that we were demanding, but we'll wait and see, okay?
Don't worry, Mrs. Decker. Your mom has found some really nice men to help out with this party tonight.
Well, no one told me that Beth's sister was getting married this weekend.
Now, Vivian's going to see that everything runs smoothly.
Oh, I hope so.
Well, if you're going to be in such a bad mood, maybe we better not have this party.
We have to have it.
Well, what are you so upset about, Rena? Surely it's not Beth's absence.
Stryker's gone to Washington. He won't be here tonight.
Oh, what a shame. But it's not the end of the world, is it?
It might be. I was counting on him to help everyone mingle.
Rena, that sort of thing comes naturally at a party.
Not to Max's friends, it doesn't.
Oh, yes, the cowhands.
I was raised on a farm, and I've been circulating in some pretty high social circles. I could help mingle.
Vivi, why don't you wash the breakfast dishes, and then you can concentrate on the party.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you found a way to get Max to your parents' house tonight without telling him about the party?
Oh, that was the easiest part.
Oh, now you're worried about his reaction. Well, maybe you should just tell him about the surprise you planned.
Honey, I know that if Stryker was going to be there tonight, it would work.
At the rate you're going, you are going to be a wreck by 7 o'clock.
I'll be all right. I'm just depressed about Stryker.
Well, I'm disappointed, too. Dennis called to say that he won't be able to attend either.
Why not?
It's that dreadful wife of his.
I thought Paige would give her eye teeth to socialize with you and Alex.
Normally she would, but at the moment she has 2 black eyes.
You're joking.
I'm not joking.
Honey, Dennis didn't.
Oh, no, of course not. She claims she was mugged.
Claims? She and Dennis having problems?
Well, if they're not now, they will be soon. I intend to see to that.
Justin Marshall. Baba, I have been trying to reach you all morning. Yeah, I had the meeting with Alex Wheeler. He took the bait. He thinks you're being talked into making some big concession. Yeah, well, I told him I would give it my best shot. You bet. I'll wrap it up tonight. Bye.
Iris, why do you want to separate Dennis and Paige?
You have to ask.
Maybe Paige is good for him.
How can you say that? Rena, you grew up with the girl. You know she's perfectly dreadful.
People change.
Iris.
Honey, he makes her happy. I think that's important.
Well, I suspect his happiness is only temporary.
Well, I hope they make it.
We'll see.
Honey, if Dennis and Paige aren't coming, and Stryker isn't coming, you're not going to have anybody to talk to but Alex and Vicky. Oh, darling, you're not going to have a very good time
Well, look,
tonight.
if you have no objections, there is someone I'd like to bring along. A friend of mine whom you will like very much.
You bring all the friends you want. If you know of anyone who can liven up this party, they're more than welcome.
Oh, I just wish there was some way I could persuade Dennis to come alone tonight.
Iris, you lay off of Dennis. He's a big boy now, and he's old enough to know what he wants. And if Paige is what he wants, you let him have her.
You don't know what you're talking about.
I know that it's Dennis's life, not yours.
Rena, when you have a son of your own, you'll realize it's not quite that simple. Especially if your son becomes involved with a dreadful woman like Paige Marshall.
Jenny, come in. Sit down here. I'll get you a cushion.
No, don't fuss. I'm fine.
You're just out of the hospital.
Barrett, Courtney told me.
Barrett, Courtney told me if I was strong enough, I could get up and around. Now just... What are you doing?
Oh, paperwork. And one of these days I'm going to get a small computer. Wonder what my grandfather would say to that. Ranching by computer technology.
I don't think he'd approve.
I'm afraid you're right.
Oh, listen, you better not wait too long to get dressed. You're going to be late for Max's birthday party.
I'm not going.
Why not?
Because I don't want to leave you.
That's ridiculous. Jeb is here, and Courtney's coming over.
I intend to stay where I can keep my eye on you.
Barry, I think Max will be disappointed if you don't show up.
Max will understand. He has a wife he doesn't want to let out of his sight either. Besides, Justin may come out tonight.
Justin?
He wants to discuss some of Dad's business associates.
What for?
Well, apparently he's getting very interested in the oil business.
That surprises me.
Nothing Justin does ever surprises me.
What time did he say he was coming?
He didn't say. He'll call later.
You know, I thought Justin was happy being a reporter for KVIK.
Justin has always gone from one job to another. I doubt if he'll ever settle down. Peace disturbs Justin's soul.
Justin, I've heard some rather disturbing things about your investigation into World Oil and the other companies.
What have you heard?
My sources tell me that you're treating rumor as fact, speculation as...
Vicky, I thought we talked about this the other day when Stryker and you and we had lunch together.
Well, obviously, I did not make myself clear.
Obviously, your sources are some of the reporters that work here. They're furious that I dug up the information, and I may get a very hot story out of this. They just hate to be left behind.
My sources are not jealous reporters, Justin.
And Ryan Connor's after you.
Wrong again.
I don't suppose you'd want to reveal some of your sources.
I would not. Now, if you are following station procedure on this investigation, I'll stay out of it. But if you're cutting corners and ignoring facts, I'll pull you off this story.
Well, I suppose you do have to protect your husband. After all, he is chief corporate counsel for World Oil.
Stryker's relationship with World Oil has absolutely nothing to do with this. Now, if there is a misappropriation of funds at World Oil, KVIK has the right to report it. But we will not report a story based on half-truths and rumors.
Vicky, it makes good viewing.
We didn't rise to the top of the ratings that way, and we're not going to use those methods ever.
Okay? Okay. It's your station.
If you want to work that way, Justin, find yourself another job.
You're very quick to assume that I am in the wrong.
I'm not assuming anything. I'm asking you point blank. Are you following station procedure?
I'll give you my notes. You judge for yourself.
Hey, Bear. I finished up the tool shed. It's all fixed.
Oh, great. Now, if it rains, then the equipment won't get drenched.
Yeah. Say, look, you going to town for that party for Max?
No, I'd rather stay out here with Ginny.
Well, look, you don't got to do that because I'll be here.
No, I really feel funny at a party without her. Why don't you go?
Because I hate parties, and I hate wearing suits and stuff like that, and besides, I'm kind of tired.
Well, I hope you can stay awake long enough to have supper with us. If Grandma goes to the party, we'll be on our own. I might need your help.
Well, you know, she said that she left some stuff that we just warm up.
Yeah, but I thought maybe we could come up with a surprise for Ginny.
Yeah, well, you've been doing a lot of surprising of Ginny these days, haven't you?
What's that mean?
I'm talking about waltzing that preacher in there and marrying you two right there in the hospital room.
That made sense to me, Jeb. I just wanted to get it over with.
Yeah, well, you did that all right.
That ceremony we planned here last week, it put a lot of pressure on Ginny. Now, if we started up some fuss all over again...
Yeah, well, you got a point there.
Ginny's in a very agitated, emotional state right now. Her moods are going to swing considerably.
Well, that's part of being pregnant.
It's part of being a woman. We've all got to be supportive, comfort her, and indulge her a little.
Well, I'm all for that.
Just wrap our love around her like a blanket.
Yeah, well, you can't smother her, you know? I mean, she needs a little space, a little time to herself.
Why does she need that?
Because that's part of being a woman, too.
Taking care of her is part of being a man.
Oh, Paris, France is such a long way away. I'm gonna miss you, Terry.
I'm gonna miss you too, Kate. Even though we haven't seen that much of each other since I moved to Houston 12 years ago.
Oh, I know, but I always knew where to find you.
Don't worry. I'll fly home for holidays and special occasions.
Well, it'll have to be pretty special for you to make that long flight. Kate, you look so pretty. So do you, Wanda. Terry, you know Wanda and Buddy Coleman, don't you?
Of course. It's nice to see you again.
Been quite a while.
Is it true you're going to Paris, France to work for Mr. Wheeler?
Yep. Tonight's my last night in Houston. I'm leaving tomorrow.
Ain't that so?
I'm so glad you didn't miss your brother's birthday party.
All this champagne, it looks like a wedding, doesn't it?
Oh, funny. They drink champagne like we drink coffee. It was such a pleasure meeting Mr. Alex Wheeler after all I've read about him. And he's so nice, just as common as an old shoe.
More like $1,000 boot, wouldn't you say?
And Mrs. Wheeler, isn't she beautiful?
It's such an opportunity for me, being around such earthy people. You know, I didn't realize what a sheltered life I'd lived.
Well, I'm not sure these mixed parties are a good idea. When you put the upper and lower crust together, one of them always winds up a little soggy.
Nobody wants any of this. This caviar is $239 a pound.
Oh, don't worry about it, Vivian. Where's Mrs. Bellman?
Oh, I saw her go right in there a few minutes ago.
It's the kitchen, and you know I better check the freezer in there to see if they got weenies.
I'll leave that caviar with me. Well, she does take one literally, doesn't she?
Yes, indeed. It's part of her charm.
Mr. Wheeler? Look at Mr. Wheeler. He seems to be having such a lovely time.
Oh, Alex can mix on any social level.
Well, you know, that is really a real gift.
His family was very poor, you know, so he understands these people.
I thought he was from Boston.
Actually, not everyone from Boston is wealthy.
Everyone I know is. Where are Rena and Max? Max is gonna be late for his own party.
He doesn't know it's a party.
Oh, I love surprise parties.
Well, I'm not at all certain that Max does, so you better enjoy that caviar while you can.
I went downstairs for a little while this afternoon. Hope I can go back for supper. I hate to eat in this bed.
Well, you can do anything you'd like just as long as you don't wear yourself out.
You know I'll be careful, Courtney. I don't want anything to happen to this baby.
Yes, I know.
So, are you going to stay for supper with us?
No, I have to get back to the hospital. I'm covering a patient for Bart tonight.
You really didn't have to drive all the way out here just for me.
Well, I wanted to see how you were doing. And, there is something that I wanted to tell you.
What is it?
Ryan called me today. He wanted to know how you were doing and what your chances are of keeping the baby.
I really don't want to talk about Ryan right now.
No, I think you should know this. Ryan's planning on staying in Houston, but he'll stay completely out of your life. Now that you've remarried Barrett, you're not to worry about him trying to interfere in any way.
Thank you for telling me, Courtney.
He also said that he loves you very much. If you should ever need him, that he'll always be there. But he won't try to call or see you.
I'm sorry I've had Ricky working this evening. He shouldn't have to miss this.
Well, he's not too keen on parties.
We'll save him a piece of birthday cake.
Where's Maggie? Has she been invited?
She'll be here later.
You know, I like that fellow Coleman.
Oh, yes, he's a wonderful fellow.
You know, I think I'll go over there and pry loose some more of his rodeo stories, if you'll excuse me.
Kate, dear, tell me, how is Ginny doing?
Oh, she's much better. Oh, you know, I miss Stryker. Will he be in Washington long?
No, just until Sunday evening, if everything goes well. Good. I'd better circulate. Mrs. Coleman.
Oh.
Wouldn't you like something to drink?
Oh, I had a glass of champagne. It was delicious.
Oh, well, there's plenty more.
I just love surprise parties.
Surprise parties?
Oh, well, Rena said that this was a surprise party for Max, and she promised that we shouldn't breathe a word about it. He thinks it's just a family dinner. Isn't that cute?
Yes, very cute. I'll tell the waiter to bring you some more champagne.
Oh, thank you.
Vicky, is something the matter? Mrs. Coleman is under the impression that this is a surprise party for Max. Oh, where on earth did she get that idea? Rena told her. Oh, perhaps she misunderstood. That must be Max and Rena now.
Thank you. My, isn't this festive?
Justin Marshall, how nice to see you again.
Hello, Iris. I came looking for your husband.
My husband.
Mm-hmm.
He's right over there.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
My apologies, Vicky. I usually don't crash parties. So, Bubba agreed to every concession that you asked for, Alex. I think we've got ourselves a good deal here.
I'm stunned.
Why, you didn't think I could pull it off?
To be honest, no.
Never underestimate a marshal, Alex. You're a pretty hard man to bargain with, but I think everybody's going to be happy as soon as the money starts to roll in.
That kind of money should make most people very happy. Well, should we toast this successful venture?
I'm all for that. Success?
Success.
Alex, would you mind if I stole Justin away for a moment?
Oh, of course.
Justin?
Excuse me.
Justin, I don't mean to be rude, but I don't want you here.
Well, I knew that the first moment that I stepped through the door, but I had to see Alex.
You've seen Alex, now you can leave.
What's the occasion for this lovely party tonight?
This is a birthday party for Max, and since he's not comfortable being around you...
My apologies for the inconvenience that I must have given you, but I thought it was very important for me to see Alex.
Rena! Happy birthday.
Many happy returns of the day, old boy. Many happy returns.
God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit, bless, preserve, and keep you. The Lord mercifully with his favor look upon you and fill you with all spiritual benediction and grace, that you may faithfully live together in this life and in the age to come have life everlasting. Amen. The peace of the Lord be always with you.
And also with you.
Hi.
Jeb, have you talked to Courtney about marriage?
She's not saying much on the subject these days.
What has she said?
She needs some time to herself. She doesn't want to make a commitment.
Well, I can understand that.
It's different than with you, Jenny.
Honey, just don't push her. Give her all the time she needs. If you push her too hard, you might push her away entirely.
Yeah, I know. I'll be patient. Listen, Ginny, I spoke to Barrett about that hurry-up ceremony, and he said the reason why he did it was because he wanted to take the strain off of you. You think something's wrong?
Yes, I do. I don't know what it is.
You think it might just be your imagination?
I'd like to believe that's true. But I think that something's terribly wrong.
You're a lucky man, Max Decker.
Yes, I sure am.
Well, as I was just telling Vicky, I think I should be going now.
Oh, Justin, you're not going to desert me now, are you? Well, there's hardly anyone here that I want to talk to.
Rena, this is the friend I mentioned to you, Ashley Linden. You met at my party for Alex.
Yes, I remember.
Max, happy birthday.
Oh, well, thank you, Ashley.
I hope you don't mind me joining your celebration.
No, I don't.
Happy birthday, Max.
Thanks, Iris. If you excuse me now, there's everyone else I want to say hello to.
Mama, your husband is sure a handsome man.
Yes, I think so, too.
Well, it's funny how opposites attract. Where I'm from, they don't crossbreed thoroughbreds with working stock, even the good-looking ones.
Where you come from, Ashley, I doubt that they even know the difference.
I'm afraid you asked for that.
Rena, I'd like a word with you.
Oh, dear, I know the tone of that voice.
Hey, Rena, honey, come on over here and enjoy us with us. Come on over here.
Sounds like he's having a good time.
Aren't you lucky?
Don't I know it? Well, now it's so good to see you all here.
So good.
I've had the time of my life. Oh, Rena, I was just telling Max, you two have to have supper with us next week.
Oh, hey, we'd love to, Wanda.
I've got some film of Buddy's last rodeo. Oh, and a movie of little Buddy riding a bronco.
Honey, there's some bourbon. If you want some.
That's a good idea. Bring me a bourbon. Straight.
Champagne.
Rena, your parents have such a lovely home. I just love to live in a big house like this.
Oh, I like our house just fine, Wanda.
So do I.
Well, you got a real nice piece of land out there. I wouldn't give it up for anything.
Well, we don't intend to, do we, honey? We're gonna raise our kids in the wide open spaces.
Well, in that case, y'all better get started if you're going to catch up with me and Wanda.
Well, we're working on it, buddy.
Well, now, here's to your birthday and all those kids.
Mrs. Wheeler, I don't think that your friend Rena liked me very much.
Oh, she's under a little strain this evening, but when you two get to know each other, you'll have a lot to talk about.
Well, is it my imagination, or does she look like she doesn't want to be here?
Rena, what's wrong?
I can't begin to tell you, Mother.
Honey, you have guests. You should be mingling with them.
Wish Stryker were here.
Well, he isn't, so you'll just have to make the best of it. Why don't you go over and talk to Max? You haven't been near him for an hour.
Do you think that if we start cleaning up things that people will get the hint and leave?
Rena, this is Max's birthday party. He's having a wonderful time.
And the doctor said it was the worst case of mumps he'd ever seen in a kid. But that he'd be all right when he grew up. He'll be just as good a man as his daddy.
Oh, shucks. Aw, you're so lucky to have them 4 great boys, Wanda.
There are times when I just kind of like to be by myself, though.
Now.
Or go off somewhere just with Buddy.
Oh, you wouldn't be happy doing that for long now, would you?
Now, I look at those boys and I'm just as proud and happy as I can be.
Yeah, let me tell you, Max, you got some great fishing coming up this weekend. I caught me a big one this morning. I mean, he was big. I mean, talk about your jaws. He was big. I was wrestling with that sucker.
It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. Buddy, now don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Listen, it's no big deal. The way
Take a look at Wanda and Buddy over there.
How big was that sucker?
That's a picture of you and Max 10 years from now.
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Texas.
Oh, you look like you had an awful weekend.
It's been bad.
No, you're not too early for me, Max, but Rena isn't up yet.
I have to see her.
Oh, you look like you had an awful weekend.
It's been bad. I haven't been able to get any work done out at the ranch. I can't eat much. I gotta straighten this thing out.
I think that would be best for Rena, too. For all of us. Why don't you pour yourself a cup of coffee and I'll tell her you're here.
Hey, you need some help there, Kate?
Oh, no, thank you. Now, you just sit down and have some coffee.
Are you sure?
You've done a full morning's work already out there on the West Range.
Yeah. You know, that water shortage, that's going to be a real problem this summer.
Well, I just hope that Max and Barrett figure out a satisfactory solution. One that we can finance.
Yeah, well, Barrett's in there right now figuring out the drilling costs, but in the meantime, we're going to move the cattle down to the South Range. Oh, you sure do look pretty today, Jenny.
Thank you.
I didn't know you were going out today.
Yes, I'm going into Houston. Jeb's driving me to the clinic.
Are you all right, Jenny?
Oh, yes. Courtney just thought I should come in for a checkup, that's all.
Say, Jenny, if you're not ready yet, I'll go down to the stable. I got to check a few things out down there.
Okay, go ahead. I'm not all pulled together yet.
See, if the feed didn't come, we can pick that up in town, and you can help me do it, huh?
Okay.
Jenny, honey, are you really okay?
Yes. And I'm going to stay in perfect health, even if it means seeing Courtney once a week.
Clinic, Dr. Marshall speaking.
Good morning, Courtney. It's Ryan.
Hello, Ryan. How are you?
Look, how's your schedule this morning, huh?
Well, I've got time to talk to you, if that's what you mean.
No, I'd like to see you.
Well, sure, Ryan. Aren't you feeling well?
Well, I'm feeling fine physically, but, look, I've got a lot of questions troubling me. They're about Ginny's condition.
Ryan, I told you yesterday, she's resting and doing well.
Look, Courtney, I want more than a general report.
Ryan, I'm not sure I have the right to keep giving you information on her condition.
Look, I'm worried about Ginny.
I know you are. But my loyalty has to be to my patient. I'm sorry, Ryan. Your coming here is just not a good idea.
Now, come on. What do I have to do? Fake some illness to get in the door over there? Come on.
You don't have to fake anything. I'll be glad to make an appointment to talk to you about you anytime, not about Ginny.
Look, you can't shut me out. This is too important. You understand?
Rena, dear, it's time to get up. Now, come on, honey. It's 9:30.
I don't want to get up today.
You slept all day yesterday.
There's nothing to get up for, Mama.
Rena, this can't go on. You can't bury your problems in sleep.
There's nothing else for me to do. I can't solve my problems.
Max is downstairs and he wants to see you.
I don't want to see him.
He's not going to be put off. You've refused his calls all weekend. Rena, you've got to talk this out with him. He's your husband.
Talking won't help. Never has for us.
Rena, I want you to put this robe on and come down to Max. Or I'm sending him up here.
Texas, starring Beverly McKinsey.
I got the car all pulled around. Is Ginny ready to go?
Yes, she just went to leave a note for Barrett in his study.
I'm all set.
Well, let's go.
Hey, I'll call you Kate from the clinic as soon as I get finished, all right?
All right, yes, dear. Oh, shall I fix lunch for the two of you?
Gee, I'm not sure how long we're going to be there. You better not, but thanks.
In spite of what everyone believes, Ginny's having my child now.
She's married to Barrett now. You promised you wouldn't try to see her anymore.
Look, I'm not asking to see her. I'm asking to see you. Now, please make some time for me.
There's not much more medical information I can give you at this point, Ryan, honestly.
Look, just let me ask questions, get them off my chest. That'll help. Hey, I'll even have a checkup if that'll make you happy, all right?
Okay, look. I'll be in the clinic all morning. Come over here whenever you can. I'll make some time for you.
Thank you.
Grandma, you working alone? Where's Ginny?
She's gone, Barrett.
Gone.
Yes, into town to the clinic. She did tell you she was gone, didn't she?
Well, yes, but I thought she'd wait to leave until I got back from the range.
Well, maybe she couldn't wait any longer without being late for her appointment.
Strange that she couldn't wait to say goodbye.
She left a note on your desk. Jeb drove her in, and he was just chomping at the bit to get going.
I don't get it. I mean, I offered to drive her into town myself. Why should she choose to go with Jeb?
Barrett, she feels guilty every time she takes you away from the ranch. She knows how important it is for you to be here to supervise.
Nothing's more important to me than Ginny. Everything else comes second to taking care of my wife.
I know. Why don't we both have a cup of coffee? Who are you calling?
Clinic. Well, Ginny's in Houston. Maybe she can pick up those new track shoes that Steve's been wanting. We'll save it for an Easter present.
If you're not careful, you're going to spoil that boy rotten.
Yeah, well, his mother and his grandmother have already done a pretty good job of spoiling him.
Still turned out to be a pretty nice guy. Yes, this is Barrett Marshall. I'd like to leave a message for my wife, Ginny Marshall. No, I'm not sure what time her appointment is. It's sometime this morning. Yes, I'll hope. Looks good. What? Of course I'm sure that she has an appointment today. Will you check the book again? Thank you. Some new receptionist that Courtney's hired. Yes. I see. Well, thank you for checking. Goodbye.
Is there a problem?
I'll say. Receptionist says there's no appointment at all for Ginny today.
Well, after all, Courtney is Ginny's sister-in-law. Maybe being a member of the family, she doesn't have to make an appointment.
Is Rena still sleeping?
No, she's awake now.
But she just doesn't want to see me.
No, not right now, anyway. I'm sorry, Max, I tried.
How is she?
She's upset and confused.
Well, that makes two of us. I don't understand what happened. We were having such fun at the party last Friday night, and all of a sudden she disappeared and wouldn't come back. Now she refuses to see me or even talk to me. What the devil's gotten into her?
I'm not sure.
She won't even talk to you?
No.
Well, I thought you two were getting closer.
Yes, we were. But she seems to be pulling away from me again.
Well, I'm not leaving until I talk to her. Do you mind if I go upstairs to her bedroom?
I don't mind at all. I've got to get to work. I'm an hour late already.
You go on, Mom.
Rena.
Hello, Max.
Hello.
Well, I'll leave the two of you alone.
Thanks, Vicky.
Morning, Ashley. Is your boss in?
Hello, Justin.
What about Ryan Connor? Is he around anywhere?
I'm sorry, he's in a meeting.
Oh, well, then I guess I'll just have to wait.
Well, now, if it's very important, I could call Mr. Wheeler at home
Oh,
and
no,
ask him if he's left yet.
Just business, and that's not important. We both know that there's a lot of things more in life, more important in life than just business.
Such as?
Well, such as having fun, that's one.
Oh, fun, like you had the other night at the party?
Me and Max's birthday bash, yeah. Yeah, I call that fun, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yes, I had a wonderful time, although I'm not so sure how poor Max did.
Poor Max. Now, can I help it if he can't take a joke?
Well, I don't think your friend Rena was very amused either.
If I remember correctly, I don't remember you tossing bouquets in Rena's direction.
You know, that was the strangest thing. For some mysterious reason, that woman took an instant dislike to me.
Do tell and I declare.
I'm serious. I can't help but wonder if perhaps the reason that she was so upset was I was spending so much time with you.
Could be.
Well, she sure was upset by you having crashed her party.
Now, who told you that?
Mrs. Wheeler.
Shame on Iris, and I thought she and I were the best of friends.
Well, she has nothing against you. She was just worried about Mrs. Decker.
Seems like you and Iris are pretty thick these days, huh?
She's a wonderful woman.
So you keep telling me. Who knows? Maybe someday you'll find yourself one more rung up on that ladder.
Pardon?
Someday you might be in line to replace Iris.
You're joking, of course.
Of course. Of course, yes.
Morning, Ashley. Hello,
Morning.
Justin. You waiting for me?
Yes, if you have time.
This is about that investigation of yours?
Right.
All right. Come on to my office.
Right away, right away, right away, right away.
Did you go fishing this weekend?
No. I didn't want to go without you.
You should have. You would have had a lot more fun if you had taken Buddy along.
No, I wouldn't. That trip was our special day. How was your weekend?
Quiet. I slept through most of it.
I miss you, Rena.
Oh, Max. You'd be a lot better off without me.
I don't think so.
I only complicate your life.
You make my life better. I want to live all the rest of my life with you. Have children with you.
Don't start talking about getting me pregnant again.
Okay, okay. Rena, I swear, I don't know what's happened to us. We were so happy, and then all of a sudden, well, here we are. Look at us.
It's not your fault. None of it. It's me, Max.
Tell me what's bothering you. We can talk about it. Come on back to the ranch and we'll...
It's something that I have to work out myself.
That's not what marriages are supposed to be about. Husbands and wives, they talk everything out. They depend on one another.
But I don't want to become dependent. I have to be my own woman.
Running back to your parents doesn't seem so independent to me.
I wasn't running back. I was already here.
Well, can you tell me why you ran out of the party like you did?
I was in a lousy mood, and I had to be by myself.
It's more than that.
I can't explain it, Max.
Have you stopped loving me? Is that what you don't want to tell me?
I do love you.
Then come along with me. That's where you belong, with me.
I don't know where I belong anymore.
Well, at least we won't be interrupted, not for a few minutes anyway.
Well, I'm only going to be here a few minutes.
Oh, you drove all the way out here for just a few minutes?
Yeah, I know it's, well, it's not very logical, but neither are my feelings right now.
Ryan, I'm afraid that there's nothing that I can tell you in person that I couldn't have told you over the phone.
Well, maybe I wanted to see you in person because I felt you weren't telling me the whole story.
I wouldn't lie to you.
I know you wouldn't lie, but, well, you just might shade the truth a little. I mean, don't most doctors soften the blow when there's bad news?
Sometimes when it's absolutely necessary, but at this point, there is no bad news about Jenny.
Okay, I believe you. Can you tell me about her future and the baby's future?
Ryan, I'm a doctor, not a fortune teller.
Please, just give me an educated medical opinion now. Can Ginny carry my child to full term?
Oh, she's got a very good chance. It all depends on her following my instructions to the letter, which she is.
Well, you mean no strenuous activities, rest? What you told me last week, right?
Right. Ryan, Ginny wants to keep this baby. She's fighting for it.
I feel so helpless.
I know.
Well, Courtney, I've been spending a lot of time lately in the medical library at the university, studying this stage of pregnancy.
Ryan, I know your intentions are good, but I wish you'd leave the medical business to me. You concentrate on the oil business.
Now, look, I'm not trying to do your job for you. I'm just concerned.
I know.
I want to understand what's going on.
Ryan, reading a few articles in a medical journal may prove to do you more harm than good.
Okay, I promise. No more home diagnosis, all right?
Okay. I hope you know that you can trust me. I do know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I know that. And I thank you for your patience.
Oh, that's okay. Oh, by the way, Bart is also consulting on this case, so you are absolutely to be assured that Ginny is in good hands. Excuse me.
Okay, good.
Yes. Yes, Maria. I see. Okay, I'll be out there in just a few minutes. Ryan, I'm going to give you a pamphlet on pregnancy that I give to all my patients, and it's very thorough and very simple.
And strictly informational, right?
You got it. You can be reading that. I'll be back in a few minutes. I just have to have a word with Maria, okay?
Thank you.
How are you feeling, Ginny?
Oh, much better, thanks. It's good to be out of the hospital, and I always enjoy coming into town.
I'm being chauffeured in.
Are you going to the school meet on Saturday?
Of course. Barrett and I are going. Kate's coming.
Hey, Maria, I hear you got yourself quite a little runner there.
Steve said that your son won first in the high hurdles, right?
That's right. He certainly did. And I never cheered so loud in my whole life.
Welcome to the party.
Well, how you doing, you two?
Couldn't be better. Come here.
Courtney, I hope you don't mind. You said that I could come by here any time for a checkup.
Oh, absolutely. It's just that I'm kind of busy right now, and I might be tied up for a while.
No, that's okay. We'll just hang around and read these 200-year-old magazines.
Oh, better yet, though, you could go to Maggie's for early coffee or lunch or something.
Well, as a matter of fact, Kate made us a huge breakfast, so we don't really mind waiting, do we?
Oh, but she'd love to see you. She's always talking about you.
Well, in that case, I'll tell you what. Why don't we all go to lunch together later over at Maggie's? After you finish examining me, then we can just go over and grab a quick bite.
Well, sure couldn't mistake your voice, could I? Hello, Ginny.
Hello, Ryan.
The role of Stryker Bellman is now being played by Clifton James.
Sorry about the telephone call interruption, but Beth says we can have lunch in half an hour, and your mother's going to join us.
Oh, wonderful.
Go on, honey. What were you saying?
Oh, Daddy, it's so good to have you home, to be able to talk to you.
Sorry I couldn't make Max's birthday party. You know I wouldn't let you down if I could help it.
I know. But if you'd been here, you'd know in an instant what I meant about Wanda Coleman. Wanda and Buddy and their whole philosophy of marriage.
What is it about Wanda that gets so worked up?
Oh, Daddy, the way she goes on and on about kids and cooking and caring for a husband. Honestly, Daddy, she isn't a whole woman anymore. It's like she doesn't exist outside of her husband. She doesn't have a life of her own, and I'm terrified of becoming like her. I just couldn't live that way.
I don't think you have to worry about becoming like Wanda.
Oh, Daddy, I can see it coming as clear as day. You know, one meal leads into the other, one day follows the next day, and before you know it, your whole life consists of shopping, doing laundry, and buying the groceries. It's as if all of a sudden you wake up one day and you're not an individual anymore.
Honey, I think you're exaggerating. In the first place, Wanda Coleman was raised to believe that life consists of having a husband and children. That's what she wants, that's fine, but doesn't have to be.
Well, that's the way it has to be for Max Decker if he has anything to do with it. He wants me to be just like Wanda.
You talk to him?
No. I don't even know how I would say it to him.
Well, honey, if you don't talk to him, how do you expect him to know how you feel? You got to tell him.
He wouldn't understand anyway, Daddy. Even if I did tell him, I'd only hurt his feelings.
Honey, you gotta find a way to straighten this out.
I've tried. But Max just won't compromise.
He promised he would.
I know he did. Everything has to be done his way, which means that I have to turn myself completely around so I'm what he wants. Daddy, I can't do that.
Hi, Stryker, darling. Welcome home.
Oh, it's good to be home. Mwah.
And how are you, dear?
Terrible. But like you, I'm better now that Daddy's home.
Did you and Max work things out after I left?
Nope.
You did talk to him?
Yes, we talked.
Is anyone going to tell me what's going on around here?
Well, we're just discussing the situation.
I'm going to leave Max.
No.
Hold on, honey. You've got some thinking to do first.
Daddy, I've been thinking about this. Now, if I go back to the ranch, I'm gonna work so hard to be what Max wants me to be that I'm gonna turn out like Wanda before I even know what's happened to me. Daddy, I'm gonna get miserable and depressed, and I'm gonna make Max the same way. I can't do that to him. I can't do it to either one of us. Believe me, it's best to end it right now. Before I kill all the love that we have between us.
You have been through all of World Oil Transport with a fine-tooth comb, and this is all the information you've come up with? What's the problem?
The problem is I have been blocked access to a number of your departments thanks to Ryan Connor.
Ryan?
He refused to let me into bookkeeping so I could check the accounts. And while we're on the subject, he sicked Stryker on me, not to mention my employer, Vicky.
This is the first I've heard of it. Why in blaze did you take all this time to come to me about this?
Alex, I have been trying to get to you for weeks. Ryan did a very good job of shielding you from me. I'd begun to wonder if you were just afraid of what my investigation might uncover.
Absolutely nothing.
I'm relieved to hear that.
This scandal of misappropriated funds that you're on to, it has no basis whatsoever.
No one will be happier than I will to announce that at the end of my investigation. Alex, contrary to what many people may have told you about me, I am not out to get you.
And I am not out to slam any door in your face. Now, I will see to it that you have complete freedom throughout World Oil.
Thank you. Alex, you don't harbor any personal antagonism toward me, do you, for starting this investigation of your company?
No. Your job as a news journalist is to go after suspected corruption and get it out in the open.
Thank you.
Excuse me. Yes, Ashley. Who? Why, yes, of course. Bring him right in.
I want to thank you for your time, Alex. I know how busy you are.
Now, I want you to always come to me directly, and I want you to let me know if you get in any trouble.
Thank you.
Jim, come in. Good to see you.
Hello, Alex.
Jim, this is Justin Marshall. Justin, this is Jim Lawrence, a friend of mine for many years.
How do you do?
I already know you, Justin. Well, at least I know about you.
Oh, yes?
Well, from your work at KVIK, for one thing. And I also knew your father, Mike Marshall.
Now, Max doesn't expect you to be like Wanda Coleman or anyone else, except yourself. Now, after all, he's known you all your life. He knows exactly what kind of person you are.
No, Mother. He wants to change me so I'll be like everyone else.
No, he doesn't. He wouldn't have married you if you were just like everyone else.
So why is he now trying to turn me into somebody different, huh? What he really wants is someone who devote their lives to doing the laundry, to cooking, and to waiting at home for him when he comes back from work.
That simply is not true. Now, Max is doing his best to try to compromise with you.
That's right. So that's why we're still living in a cabin instead of a nice home. That's why Max still talks all day long about getting me pregnant, having kids.
I think Max will try to be a little more understanding from now on. And if you'll just give him a chance, I'm sure he'll try his best to meet you halfway. But you can't expect your problems with Max to just disappear if you hide out upstairs in your bedroom.
Rena, Ginny Marshall worked out living on a ranch without losing her identity.
Ginny is different, Daddy. She spent half of her life going from army base to army base. She was more than happy to settle down for a while.
Well, maybe we get Max to build you a nice home. Vicky, if it makes Rena happy.
Rena has to talk to Max, but not about building her a home that he can't afford.
I did try talking to him this morning. It didn't do me any good. Mama, I need some space, some time to be alone, to decide what I want to do. Daddy, can I stay here for a while?
Of course, honey.
Mama doesn't want me to be here.
Rena, it's not that I don't want you to be here. After all, this is your home. And I do love you. But this is something you have to work out with your husband, not your father and me.
Honey, your mama's right. You gotta straighten this thing out with Max. But until you do, you're welcome to stay here as long as you like.
Yes, I am free tonight, and yes, I will have dinner.
What do you know? I didn't even have to twist your arm.
Brian, are you ill?
No. Courtney and I were just discussing a few things.
I see.
Did Terry make it out of the ranch to say goodbye to everyone?
Yeah, she did. It was good to see her, too.
Yeah, I hope she doesn't go too continental on us.
I think she will. Terry's a born and bred Texan.
Yeah, well, she also said she could fly back here anytime she wanted on Mr. Wheeler's private plane.
Oh, wow, what a life.
Say, I've been reading about Big Steve in the sports section of the newspaper.
I think we have every edition he's mentioned in.
I'd be real proud of him. He's doing real well.
Yeah, there's a chance that they could be first in the state or something.
Yeah?
Listen, I'm going to check the examining room and see if it's ready yet.
Wow. You look beautiful.
Thank you. Thanks for the flowers you sent at the hospital room.
Oh, you like them, huh? Well, Courtney tells me that you and the baby are doing real fine.
Yes. I'm doing fine.
Stay well, huh?
You too.
You knew my father?
Well, there isn't anyone in the oil business didn't know Mike Marshall. And like everyone else, I was very sad to hear about his death. I thought very highly of him.
Thank you.
Well, it's terrible what business pressures can drive a man to do. Taking his own life. I was deeply affected by the news.
It's nice to meet someone who knew and respected him as I did.
Now, he'd be very proud of the work you're doing.
I'd like to think so. James Lawrence. Lawrence Petroleum. Galveston, Texas?
That's right.
In Galveston and around the world?
Yes, I remember my father talking about you.
Alice, Mr. Marshall interviewing you for TV?
Well, something like that. Justin is conducting an investigation of World Oil. He seemed to have some cockeyed idea that there's been a misappropriation of funds.
Well, you turned up anything interesting?
Well, Alex has opened all his books to me. Who knows?
Oh, I know.
Good move, though. Keep nothing from the press.
Are you here on business, Mr. Lawrence?
Yes. Alex and I have been doing business for years. Ever since I learned he had the best backswing of any golfer this side of the Rio Grande.
This man can put a ball on the green under par more times in one game than I could put in a year of games.
Well, as the non-golfer in the group, I'm just going to say goodbye. Nice meeting you.
Good to meet you, Justin.
Bye, Alex.
I get the impression that Justin Marshall's not a reporter to be taken lightly in this investigation.
Yes, he is very thorough. I think he'd be good at anything he did. He's a very persistent young man.
You look so serious, Courtney. Is everything all right?
That's my professional look. Your condition looks really good.
Oh, thank heaven.
Do you have any questions?
I just would like to know about the physical activity that I should be doing.
Well, your examination showed no sign of overdoing. Do you have any unusual fatigue or dizziness?
I'm probably the most overrested person you've ever met. I'm so bored sitting around the couch, reading, doing needlepoint.
Well, get out then. Go for walks. Watch Steve's track practice. Go shopping with Grandma Kate. You can do anything you'd like as long as it's not too strenuous, but you do need to get rest in between.
Well, I feel much better already. I guess I have been rather overprotective of myself.
Well, now, house cleaning and yard work are no-nos, and horseback riding is definitely out.
Well, other than that, I can carry on with my normal existence.
Oh, by all means. Ginny, is there something troubling you?
Yes. Why was Ryan here?
He came here to ask me how you were doing, and I told him. I hope you don't mind.
No, I guess he has a right to know in a way.
I didn't mean for your visits to coincide. I'm really sorry.
It's all right.
Just so you know that Ryan didn't break his promise about not seeing you. He had no idea you were coming.
I understand.
Is it hard for you?
No. No, it wasn't.
Ginny.
It's just the hurt in his eyes. That's what's so hard. I feel so guilty. I've caused him so much pain.
Ginny, whenever two men love the same woman, there's always bound to be someone hurt. There's no reason for guilt feelings, not for any of you.
Oh, I wish seeing him would get easier.
I tried to prevent that. I didn't want you to know he was here.
I realize that. All that talk about Maggie's.
I am terrible at covering.
So am I. That's why I'm so afraid that other people are going to see my feelings for Ryan.
You mean Barrett?
For Barrett's sake, I have to put out of my mind that I ever saw Ryan. Today didn't happen.
Can you really do that?
I have to. I'm committed to Barrett now.
Yeah, here you go.
Thank you, Ryan.
Well, you gonna call it a day?
Yes, Iris and I are going to meet Hank Biddle and his wife for dinner, and if I don't get a little rest first, I don't think I can stay awake for his incessant stories of fishing.
How are you feeling these days, huh?
Fine. Why? Does it look like the pace is catching up with me?
No, not at all. I'm real happy to see you're working here in the office more since you recovered.
Well, I'm not sure I'm so happy, but...
Uh-huh. Means you're thinking about Iris, right?
Well, it's difficult being 25 years apart, and, well, you know, I want to make up for lost time.
Well, I suppose if Dennis had accepted your offer of a job here, that would have made things a little easier, right?
Yes, it would have made things easier, but, you know, there's no use wishing for what we can't have.
Look, Alex, you ever gonna tell Dennis the truth? That Elliot Carrington's not his real father?
One of these days, I suppose, but that'll have to wait for a while.
You know that Elliot's hearing is on Friday, right?
Yes, but, you know, I'm gonna have to wait for that to be resolved. And, I don't want to turn his life upside down.
Well, at least you and Dennis seem to be getting along much better.
Well, we're working on it. He's a fine boy, Dennis.
He sure seems to be.
Well, I think I'm gonna call it a day.
Absolutely. Why not, huh?
Oh, one more thing. Justin came by today.
About that investigation of his?
Mm-hmm. And I told him that we were going to open up our books for him.
Wait a minute. World Oil's financial condition is none of Justin's business.
Now, don't start getting hot under the collar.
Alex,
Ryan, now I'm going to squelch, once and for all, this notion that he has that there's some strange misappropriation of funds. Besides, no, we have nothing to hide.
I don't think you should do it.
Listen, trust this once.
Okay, you're the boss, right?
I'm the boss, and I say so. So long.
Pete, this is Jim. How are things down there in Galveston? Well, you can take care of that, I'm sure. No, I can't get back there just yet. Got a few problems here I need to take care of. Unfortunately, the Carrington girl didn't work out as well as I thought she would. Yeah, I had a little trouble with her. That's not important. She's no loss. Don't think she could have given us much on Wheeler anyway. But there is something I want you to work on right away. Now, it seems some hotshot reporter has stumbled onto something at World Oil. His name's Justin Marshall. Well, it's too late for that. Wheeler's given him the go-ahead to check all the books. Now, is our man still in bookkeeping? I don't care how you do it. Just see that Marshall doesn't find out anything. No, I don't want something to happen to him. Not unless all else fails. Just keep everything hushed up until this investigation's over. Understand? Good.
Barry, we were worried about you.
Were you?
Yeah, it's so late. You never miss supper.
That couldn't be helped.
Is everything all right? Jeb was just about to ride out and find you.
Just had work to finish, that's all.
Why don't you go ahead and get ready and wash up, and I'll warm up some food for you.
Don't trouble yourself.
It's no trouble. What were you working on that was taking you so long?
I was on the West Range checking the water situation.
Well, I hope we can get that system going again before summer.
You're not interested in my work. Stop pretending.
Of course I'm interested. What's the matter with you?
Suppose you tell me. I called Courtney's office this morning after you'd gone. Receptionist told me that your name wasn't even listed for an appointment at all today.
I didn't have an appointment. Courtney told me to stop in whenever I wanted to for a checkup.
I don't believe you.
Barry? Well, you can ask Jeb. He was with me.
Jeb's your brother. He'll always cover for you.
There was no reason to cover for me. Ask Courtney. Call her. She's your sister. You can believe her, can't you?
Not really. You women always have a way of covering for each other, no matter what.
Why are you saying these things?
From now on, I'm going to start questioning a lot that goes on behind my back.
Nothing goes on behind your back.
Doesn't it? Doesn't it?
If you don't think I was at the clinic today, where was I?
I have no idea. But it better not happen again.
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Texas.
Good morning, Miss Garrison.
Hello, Billy Joe.
Hey, what happened? Good morning, Miss Carrington.
Hello, Billy Joe.
Hey, what happened to you?
Billy Joe,
Hey, it looks like somebody gave you a black eye or something.
I'm sorry. I really don't have time to talk right
Oh,
now.
is Mr. Carrington at home?
No, he's at the station. Why?
Oh, well, I didn't mean just drop by like this, but, well, I went to the top of the World Club to see how you were doing. You know, I've been real worried about you ever since you came by my apartment the other day, and, well, when Alfredo said you weren't coming in,
Billy Joe, listen, I really appreciate your concern, but I'm fine.
And then at the Packard Hotel, when I ran into you, and you were looking like you were in trouble or something.
What was that about the Packard Hotel?
Oh, hello, Mr. Carrington.
Hello?
Good morning, Rena. It's Iris.
Oh, hi, Iris.
How are you? Or should I ask?
I'm fine.
You don't sound fine. In fact, you sound terrible.
And you sound like Vicky.
Well, we're both concerned about you.
I know.
Have you spoken to Max today?
No,
So you have no plans to return to the ranch?
not right away, Iris.
All right, then. I have a wonderful idea. Instead of moping around your parents' house all day, come have lunch with me. I'll see if I can cheer you up.
Oh, honey, why don't we make it some other time?
That's what you said yesterday. But today I am not taking no for an answer.
But I don't feel like going out.
You meet me at the top of the World Club at 12:30. If you're not there, I'll come to the house and drag you out.
But Iris...
I'll see you at the club at 12:30. Don't be late, dear. Goodbye.
Good morning, Mr. Wheeler's office. May I help you?
Hello, Ashley. It's Iris Wheeler.
Oh, good morning, Mrs. Wheeler. And how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm calling to see if you can have lunch with me today.
Oh, I'd love to, but...
My friend Rena Decker will be joining us.
Oh,
What's the matter?
nothing except... Well, I'm afraid that Mrs. Decker doesn't think very highly of me after the other night.
You mean the surprise party for her husband?
I got the distinct impression she didn't like me.
Oh, Ashley, you can't judge Rena by that evening. She was under a great deal of pressure. That's why I was hoping we could get together under more relaxed circumstances and smooth things over.
I'd love to. I really would, but
You have other plans.
Yes, unfortunately, I have. I hope that you'll understand.
Of course I understand. Perhaps some other time soon.
Oh, yes, that'd be nice.
Now, thank you for asking me, Mrs. Wheeler. Goodbye.
Texas, starring Beverly McKenzie.
Long time no see, Mr. Carrington.
Yes, it has been quite a while.
I didn't know you were living here with Dennis and Mrs. Carrington.
Oh, it's a temporary arrangement.
Oh, I see.
What was that you were saying about the Packard Hotel?
Oh, yeah, the Packard Hotel. Well, I was there the other day to see this big shot about a client that I handle.
Client?
Oh, you probably don't know about this, but I'm managing a singing star now.
No, I didn't know.
Yes, Billy Joe is, working hard for a country and western singer.
She's gonna be real big, too. Her name's Elena Decker.
Decker. Is she related to the man that works for Alex Wheeler?
Ricky Decker, yeah, that's her brother, but don't judge her by him. I mean, she's got nothing to do with him and nothing like him at all. She's got real class.
Oh, I see. Well, what does your boss here think about you working at another job?
Doesn't work for me anymore, Elliot.
Oh, when did that happen?
I guess I quit about 3 weeks ago.
Oh.
Isn't that right, Mrs. Carrington?
Yeah, about then.
I sure hope you understand about that, Mrs. Carrington. You see, it takes a lot of time to develop a singer's career, and I'm going to put all the time as necessary to...
Would you pardon me, Billy Joe? I have a lot of things to do.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So, you were seeing about your client's business when you ran into Paige at the Packard Hotel.
I hope you don't mind my dropping by like this, but I hadn't heard from you in several days, and I just wanted to know how things were going.
Well, things are going pretty well, but right now I'm a little pressed for time.
I understand. Of course, I know you're a very busy man with a great many irons in the fire, and I'm only one of them, but what I really came to ask you about was Paige Carrington.
What about her?
Just wanted to know how things were progressing with her.
Did I really say that I saw Mrs. Carrington in the hotel?
Yes, that's what you said.
Well, actually, it wasn't quite that way.
You didn't see her there.
Oh, I saw her out front as I was leaving the hotel. Sure, she must have been outside shopping or something.
Oh, I see.
You know, Mr. Carrington, I hope you don't think that I hold any of that Alex Wheeler stuff up against you.
Pardon?
Well, the fact that the police booked me for his assassination. I read the papers that you got a hearing coming up.
Yes. Yes, on Friday.
Well, I hope everything goes okay for you.
Thank you.
See, I know what it's like to be locked up. I spent 3 years up there in Huntsville, and, well, it wasn't no picnic, I'll tell you that. And if it hadn't been for my sugar darling waiting for me all this time, well, I don't think I would have made it. Yeah, I owe Nita a lot.
As I'm sure you do.
Well, then I gotta get going here. I got a client, and, well, we're gonna meet this big shot who's gonna be financing her demo tape, and, well, he might even bankroll her career.
Well, good luck.
Thanks. Goodbye, Mrs. Carrington.
Goodbye, Billy Joe.
What was that all about?
I'm sorry to put you in that position, Ashley. Turning down the boss's wife.
I do feel a bit guilty. Mrs. Wheeler's been very good to me.
Oh, yes?
Yes, she's the main reason that I have this job. She really went to bat for me with Mr. Wheeler.
Hmm. Well, I'm sure you'll find some way to repay her.
Well, now, how's that investigation of yours coming along, Justin?
Moving right along.
Come up with any dirt yet?
No. No, unfortunately, I haven't made much headway.
Well, I wish I could say that I'm sorry.
Oh, yes, I understand. After all, you do work here.
I imagine that those people at KVIK are going to be pretty disappointed when they find out that this investigation of yours was just a waste of time.
Ashley, I haven't finished my investigation as yet.
Well, you know, you're really becoming quite the topic of conversation here at World Oil.
Am I?
Oh, everybody's talking about that deal you put through. It'll be impressive if it works.
Are people taking odds?
Well, of course, I'm sure you know that Ryan Connor's been against that deal from the very beginning.
Yeah, I know all about that. I think he'll find out that he was wrong.
For a TV reporter, you sound very sure of yourself.
A reporter has to be sure of himself.
Or even when he's working outside of his field.
Ah, but the oil business isn't outside my field. My father was in it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So you see, the $12 million commitment that Alex made is really a very safe investment.
Well, Mr. Wheeler seems to think that by the end of the week, we'll know whether it is or not.
Maybe even before that.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Wheeler.
Good morning.
Well, you're up early and about, aren't you?
Well, the early bird gets the worm.
Find any worms?
Well, no. Not quite. You said if I needed anything, I should see you.
What do you need?
I wanted to ask a few questions about departmental procedure, if I may.
All right. Come on in.
Well, I haven't seen Paige. Not since the other night when we had dinner together.
Really?
I'm surprised she hasn't told you.
Well, I haven't seen her since then either. Well, you must have had some night, huh?
Why do you say that?
Well, I called Paige at the Top of the World the next day, and I was told that she wouldn't be in. Well, was she everything I said she'd be?
Oh, yes. I enjoyed myself immensely.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear it because I was thinking of arranging another little tryst for the two of you, but I wanted to check in with you first. As a matter of fact, I was thinking of going over to Paige's apartment when I leave here.
Now, don't you think that's a bit risky? She is a married woman.
I called her husband at the TV studio where he works and was told that he'd be locked up in an editing session until noon.
Now, you seem to have thought of everything.
I try to be thorough, Mr. Lawrence.
Yeah. Well, if it's all the same to you, I just soon you held off on another get-together.
And why is that?
I'm a busy man.
Yes, but
Look,
we
I
all...
don't have time to discuss this any further.
I see.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a few phone calls I'd like to make.
Certainly.
Nice of you to drop by, Chris.
Goodbye, Mr. Lawrence. We'll be in touch.
Operator, Mr. Lawrence, 705. Look, I'm expecting a call from Galveston. Now, if I happen to be on the phone, would you please interrupt me? It's a very important call. That's right. Thanks. Bye.
I don't know what you mean, Elliot.
Does Billy Joe pay social calls on you often?
Well, he and his wife just moved into an apartment across the complex.
Ah, in other words, he was simply being neighborly.
So it would seem. Would you like some coffee?
Paige, you're hiding something, and I'd like to know what it is.
I haven't the vaguest idea what you're talking about, Elliot.
Well, among other things, I'm talking about the wallet that I saw in your purse the other night. You told Dennis that it had been taken from you by the person who mugged you.
Obviously, I was mistaken.
Obviously.
Oh, come on. Look, Elliot, I was in such a state that night. Surely you can understand my being a little confused.
No, he didn't get your money and your wallet.
He must have taken something. I just don't remember.
Your story doesn't make any sense. You come home black and blue, your clothes torn. If he wasn't after your money, what was he after?
I don't know. Maybe he was in it for the kicks.
Oh, you keep changing your story. What are you going to dream up next?
Look, I don't intend to stand here and be cross-examined by you, Elliot. I'd had enough
Paige,
of that
I'm
from
not
Dennis.
cross-examining you. I am trying to find out what happened the other night, just as Dennis was.
I already told you what happened.
I don't believe you.
Well, that's your problem then, isn't it?
No, it's your problem, too. As long as it involves my son.
Elliot, everything will be just fine if you just do what I said the other day.
You mean drop the whole matter?
Yes. Just leave well enough alone. If you really care about Dennis, you'll do that.
You mean none of this should ever be mentioned to him? This business about your wallet, Billy Joe's visit, the fact that you were at the Packard Hotel the day you were supposed to have been mugged.
It's better that way, believe me.
Yes, what Dennis doesn't know won't hurt him.
Put it any way you like.
No, Paige, I cannot do that. And I am not going to stand by and let my son be hurt by whatever it is you're mixed up in.
I would never allow him to be hurt, Elliot. You've got to believe that.
I do. I do believe that. When I was in the hospital, you told me that you loved him. And I told you that I believe that, too.
Then why? Why do you insist on dragging all of this up again?
For the simple reason that I think you're involved with something you can't control. You're in over your head, Paige. And I think you need help. Please. Please confide in me.
I can't.
But I'm here. If you ever decide you can talk about it.
Have to go to work.
Hi, Sugar.
Morning, Billy Joe.
What are you doing?
Well, what does it look like I'm doing? I'm fixing the place up.
It was all right before.
No, not for a dressing room. Now, you said yourself that we were going to use this trailer when we go on tour, right? So I figured I'd do some of the things that need to be done.
Oh, yeah? Like these, frilly-looking curtains?
Yeah. And like this makeup mirror. See, I'm putting the trailer in order so we will know where everything is.
Well, look, you don't got time to fool around with this stuff. We got more important things to do.
Well, what kind of thing?
Well, like going over and seeing that guy. You know, the one I told you about who's going to finance your demo tape?
This morning?
Why not? Mr. Lawrence says he wants to meet my client. And I figure, you know, we ought to go over to that Packard Hotel right now, like today, immediately. The sooner we move on this thing, the better. Timing is everything, Elena.
Yeah, but Billy Joe, look at me. I'm not in any condition to see anybody.
Hey, you look terrific to me.
Well, you can't just spring something like that on somebody. I mean, I haven't even thought about what I'm going to say to Mr. Lawrence yet.
That's what managers are for.
Oh, Billy Joe.
Just let me do all the talking, all right? I know what needs to be said and when it needs to be said, all right? Besides, Mr. Lawrence is interested in how you sing and how you look. He don't care what you have to say.
All right. But first, we're going over to my apartment because I am going to change into something that's decent.
Wait a minute. Okay, but let's go, all right?
Mrs. Wheeler, hello.
Ashley, how's everything going?
Oh, fine, thank you.
My husband busy?
Well, Justin's in with him right now, but they shouldn't be much longer.
In that case, I'll wait.
Keeping busy? Just the way I like it. I'm so happy to see that Mr. Wheeler's been coming in more lately.
So am I.
I was afraid when I first started that I wouldn't get to see much of him.
Well, I think I told you I spoke to Ryan last week. I thought he should encourage Alex to take a stronger interest in the company now that he's fully recovered.
Well, that sure looks like what he did.
Yes, I suppose he did.
Were you unhappy with Mr. Connor's work here at World Oil while Mr. Wheeler was away?
Alex made World Oil what it is today. The company still needs his guidance.
Yes, I'm sure it does.
Iris!
Hello, darling. Justin, how are you?
Hello. This is a surprise. Are you on your way to lunch?
Yes. And I thought maybe you'd like to join Rena and me. I'm meeting her in the dining room in about 10 minutes.
I like nothing better, but I'm tied up.
Is it one of those dreary business lunches you can't get out of?
I'm afraid so. Sorry, dear.
It looks as if everyone is turning me down today. First Ashley, now my own husband.
Ashley, if you're worried about taking off over an hour off for lunch, I'll get somebody to cover for you.
Oh, Mr. Wheeler, that's very sweet of you, but
Ashley has promised to have lunch with me.
Well, go ahead then.
All right, thank you.
Nice to see you, Iris.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you later, Alice.
Have a pleasant lunch.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Wheeler. See you later.
That was awfully nice of you. I must say I wouldn't mind working for you myself.
Anytime you want.
Are you sure you can't join us?
No, I really can't.
But I'll miss you.
I'll miss you, too.
Love you.
Love you.
I'm meeting Mrs. Wheeler for lunch, but I prefer to wait here. Thank you.
Well, look who's here. Rena, you look beautiful.
Hello, Justin.
You remember Ashley?
Yes, hello, Ashley.
Well, how are you, Rena?
Just fine.
That was a very interesting party you gave for your husband the other night.
It was fantastic. Too bad you had to leave. You missed the cake.
If you'll excuse
How's
me...
Max?
It's just fine.
Mrs. Wheeler is speaking to her husband, but she'll be here in just a minute.
Hello, everybody. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Hello, sister dear. Why the dark glasses? Are you hiding from someone? Are you trying to bring a little Hollywood glamour to Texas?
Well, I see you all have reservations for 12:30.
Yes, but we're not all sitting together, Paige.
I didn't think you were.
Rena, and hello to you.
Oh, hello.
Oh, my, you look so pretty.
Oh, thank you. So do you, honey. Is our table ready?
Yes, it is. Right this way, ladies.
Oh, thank you. Justin, I'll be back as soon as I seat Iris and Rena.
Have a nice lunch.
I cannot imagine what I have done to make that woman dislike me so much.
I'm afraid I'm the one who's responsible for Rena's bad mood.
Whatever do you mean, Justin?
Oh, it's a long story.
Well, will it take longer than an hour? Because that's all the time I have for lunch.
I'm sure that we can find something much more pleasant to talk about.
Well, you don't want to talk about Rena.
You really don't want to hear about Rena, do you?
You mean she had a thing, didn't you? And now?
And now she's married to Max Decker. For now.
I gather that Paige is wearing those glasses because she still has 2 black eyes, huh?
I suppose.
Iris, you said that Paige claimed she was mugged. What's the real story?
I don't know. Darling, you have your own problems. Stop worrying about Paige. Oh, before we look at the menu, I'd like a glass of white wine, please.
Oh, I think I need something a little stronger. Martini, straight up, very dry, no fruit.
You think that will improve your mood?
This is your idea, having me for lunch.
Perhaps it was a bad idea.
Well, I was fine until Justin arrived with that steel magnolia in tow.
Are you referring to Ashley?
You're damn right I'm referring to her.
She's one of the nicest, sweetest girls I've ever known.
I know the type, Iris. Underneath all that sugar, she's as hard as nails.
Rena, I don't understand you. I thought you got along perfectly well at the party I gave for Alex.
That was then. This is now.
What on earth changed your mind?
Nothing. I was just being polite to her at your party. I'm sure glad she's not having lunch with us.
This trouble you're having with Max has colored your thinking about everything. Now, when are you going out to the ranch to straighten things out with him?
I don't know. Maybe never.
Darling, you love the man. Surely there must be some way of resolving this little difficulty.
Not unless I'm willing to turn myself into a farm wife.
Well, why not pretend that's what you're doing if it will make him happy?
Pretend?
Yes. When he's off working, you can come into town and do whatever you like. It's really very simple.
Iris, you've seen my cabin. How easy do you think it'll be for me to pretend that I enjoy living there?
You told me you were redecorating the place.
And it hasn't helped much. I mean, even if I could put up with it, how do I pretend that I want a family without actually having one?
Well, you just have to find a way to bring Max around to your lifestyle.
I've already tried that. I don't think it's possible.
Then you'll have to find a way to compromise with him. That's the only solution.
Do you have any suggestions?
We'll order lunch and I'll think of something. What are you frowning about now?
Justin was staring at me.
Not too long ago, you and Justin had only smiles for each other.
That's over now.
Maybe you're a bit annoyed that he's having lunch with Ashley. Could that be possible?
Certainly not. Darling, your little friend is more than welcome to Justin. In fact, I can't think of 2 people who deserve each other more.
Wait a minute, Billy Joe.
What's the matter?
How do I look?
Just like all them country and western stars you see in all those magazines. Only better. Now, just calm down there. It's gonna go all right, okay? I'll tell you, that outfit was just a great investment, honey. I'm glad you got that.
Yeah, well, I don't feel much like a country western star right now. I just feel nervous.
Nothing to be nervous about. Now, I'll tell you, I'm gonna do all the talking. All you have to do is just sit there and smile out, okay? You got that, sugar? Huh?
I guess so.
Good, good. You gotta have more spirit than that. Come on.
Well, Billy Joe, I still say that you should have called up Mr. Lawrence from the lobby to tell him we were here.
No, that'd be the wrong approach. See, the element of surprise is very important for this kind of thing.
Yeah, well, we might be the ones that are surprised. What happens if he's busy or he doesn't want to see anybody?
Don't worry, Will. He's gonna be glad to see you. Now, just trust me, okay? You ready?
Okay.
Here we go.
Well, Mr. Wright.
Hi there, Mr. Lawrence. This here's the client I spoke to you about, Elena Decker. She's the Texas Nightingale.
Well, hello, Elena.
How do you do, Mr. Lawrence?
Gee, I sure don't hope you don't mind us barging in on you like this, but I was just so excited about having you meet my client.
Well, I'm glad you dropped by. Come on in.
And that's it in a nutshell, Mr. Lawrence. That's how I plan to launch Elena's career as a big country western singing star. But we gotta have that demo tape first, otherwise we can't do a thing.
I see.
Yeah, well, I realize my client here doesn't have a lot of experience, but she's dynamite. She really is. And if you don't believe me, you can just trot on down to the chicken coop anytime you want and hear for yourself.
Oh, I believe you. I'm sure Elena must be a very talented young lady.
Well, yeah, and you ain't just whistling Dixie there, Mr. Lawrence. I'll tell you what, why don't you come see her tonight?
Oh, I don't think I can do that. I got too many things to do.
Oh, I see. Well, then talk to Mr. Shaw, then. I tell you, once she's been working there, man, business has gone up so much, he'll tell you. Ever since she started working at the chicken coop, it's been just great around there.
Billy Joe.
Oh. Actually, maybe you better not talk to Mr. Shaw, seeing as how he don't know that we're here to see you.
Well, you think they wouldn't approve?
Well, I just think that he probably doesn't like the idea of us doing business with one of his friends. Not that I'm afraid of Mr. Shaw or anything.
Well, you nothing to worry about. I can handle Chris Shaw.
Does that mean you're gonna give us the money we need for that demo tape?
Well, I don't think I'm prepared to go quite that far yet.
Well, this song she's recording, it's gonna be a hit. I just know it is. And I'll tell you, if this demo's good enough, we can just release it as a single.
Well, you sure are thinking ahead, Mr. Wright.
Well, I told you, I got a lot of things in mind. I've got Elena's career all planned out. Come on, Elena, give Mr. Lawrence here an idea of how the song goes. Go on.
No, I don't think so, Billy Joe.
Oh. Well, it's a terrific song, though, Mr. Lawrence. I'll tell you, it's just got the words that people just love to hear, you know? And a real catchy melody, you know? It's just the kind of thing that makes you want to cry.
Well, I think I still want to give myself more time just to think about it. But don't get me wrong. I'm very impressed with your clients so far.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
But right now, I need to get back to my work.
Oh, yeah, well, thank you very much there, Mr. Lawrence. Come on, Lena.
Now, why don't you drop by in a day or two when I've had time to give it more thought?
Oh, sure thing. You bet we will.
With Elena?
Sure,
Goodbye, Elena. It was nice meeting you.
Goodbye, Mr. Lawrence, and thank you very much.
Oh, yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Lawrence. We're gonna see you in a couple days, all right?
Right.
Well, how do you think it went?
Are you kidding? You were great.
Well, I did just like you said. I just sat there and I smiled.
Well, I just think we got it made. Now, I'll tell you one thing. You can go back there and fix up that trailer all you want, because you're going to be needing it a whole lot.
Thank you very much. Do you feel better now?
No, but thank you for trying. I appreciate you putting up with my bad mood.
You've certainly put up with enough bad moods of mine.
You know, I think while I'm out, maybe I'll just do a little shopping.
Oh, that will cheer you up.
Want to come with me?
I would love to, but I promised Alex I'd stop by his office after lunch. Why don't you come with me and say hello to him?
And run into Ashley again? No, thank you.
I thought you two would be good friends.
I don't need friends like Ashley Linden, honey. Neither do you.
Rena, what a terrible thing to say.
One of these days, she's gonna turn on you.
What makes you think that?
Just the way she fawns at you, for instance. She's too sweet, darling. She's obviously after something.
She's exactly like her Aunt Hildegard, with whom I went to school. And I never had a more faithful friend. I trusted her without reservation, which is the way I feel about Ashley.
Honey, you're going by appearances. That's a big mistake. People who turn on the charm, they usually want something. And that girl is always turning on her charm, such as it is.
There is nothing calculating about Ashley.
I can only tell you what I feel. Watch your step.
Oh, Rena, you are going to make my dinner parties a nightmare now.
Not unless you invite me when she's not there.
Oh, I usually trust your instincts, Rena, but this time you are wrong.
Well, you're the one who's gonna get hurt, honey.
I can take care of myself. I've done it for a long time, you know.
I sure wish I had your confidence. Maybe my life wouldn't be such a mess.
You'll find a way to work things out with Max.
I know about that. Thank you for lunch.
Yes. Did you have a nice lunch?
Yes, thank you.
I'll talk to you soon.
Rena Decker is an attractive woman.
I couldn't agree more.
But there's something very temperamental about her, I feel. But then again, I think you like that in a woman, don't you, Justin?
Why do you say that?
Oh, it's just a feeling I have.
Do you have any other feelings, some that might interest me?
Well, I have a very strong feeling that you'd like to see you and Rena get back together.
I don't think there's much of a chance of that happening.
Well, don't be too sure. After the way she acted the other night at her party, her husband, I'm sure, didn't appreciate it.
So you think there may be trouble in paradise?
I imagine there already is.
What do you think of Max Decker?
Max?
Mm-hmm.
He's a hunk.
He's a hunk. What about me? Would I be in the hunk category?
Well, now, you're a very attractive man, Justin, but it would in a different way.
Doesn't sound like you give Rena and me very good odds.
Oh, well, I wouldn't say that.
Well, if, as you say, Rena only appreciates hunks.
But there's something lurking deep down inside you that's very special. Something wild and unpredictable.
Wild and unpredictable. You think Rena likes that?
Max Decker is very predictable. A woman likes unpredictable. She's drawn to it.
You're beginning to sound like a fortune teller.
Well, there's one thing about your future I do know, Justin.
What's that?
You're going to be very successful. Very successful indeed.
Are you sure you don't want to come say hello to Alex?
Positive. But give him my love, all right? Thank you again for lunch.
Well, I'm afraid I wasn't much help.
Oh, don't worry. I'll work out something.
I hope so. You call me later if you feel like talking. May I help you with something, Iris?
Do I look like I need help?
No, but you do look like you have something on your mind. I was just marveling at your resilience.
My resilience.
Yes, I'm surprised to see you up and about. though it does appear that the swelling in your face has gone down a bit.
Iris, if you're here to badger me, I have much better things to do. Lunchtime is a very busy time.
I wouldn't dream of badgering you, dear. But I would like to mention a bit of information I picked up the other day.
Oh, really? What's that?
About your little visit to the Packard Hotel on the very day you were supposedly mugged. Do you think we could discuss that, Paige?
You know what I wish I had right now, huh?
What?
I wish I had some champagne. So we could celebrate.
Well, Billy Joe, I think you better be a little patient because Mr. Lawrence hasn't given us the money yet.
He will, I'm sure he will. He's probably just playing a little hard to get, that's all.
I hope you're right.
I'm sure he knows a good investment. Now, come on, he knows a good investment when he sees one. He's probably just, I'll tell you, the next time he sees us, he'll probably write us out a big fat check.
And then what?
You mean what do I do with the money next?
Yeah.
It's all planned out, darling. It's all planned out. I already talked to that guy Jeter who told us about the L&I recording studios. So, if Mr. Lawrence gives us the money this week, by next week you'll have your demo tape made.
That fast?
Well, sure, when you got the right connections.
Now, wait a minute, Billy Joe. I don't like when you start talking like that.
Why not?
Well, because something always goes wrong when you do.
You're talking about the old Billy Joe, right? This is the new one. I got the right connections now.
Oh.
Nothing can go wrong.
Billy Joe,
Oh, what's the matter, Lena?
there was somebody that was just looking in that window.
Yeah? There's nobody there, darling.
Are you sure? I swear there was.
Now, I don't want you to go start seeing things on me. That's all I need now is a clown who's going off a rocker.
Oh, come on, Billy Joe. It's not funny.
Okay, it's not funny. So what's this somebody supposed to look like?
Well, it was a man, and he was wearing a cowboy hat. And I didn't really get to see what he looked like because I only saw part of his face.
It was probably some bird that just flew by here. You thought it looked like a hat?
Billy Joe, it wasn't a bird.
Oh, I know what it was. Well, sure, lots of times. It's the kids from the trailer park. They're probably clowning around playing cowboys and Indians. I've seen them do that before.
Well, maybe. I hope you're right.
Now, look, darling, I gotta go home and get some sleep before the show tonight, all right?
Well, I'm not so sure I want to stay here now.
Nobody's gonna go prowling around here in daylight. It's okay.
Are you sure?
Well, sure, I'm sure. Just lock the door. Everything will be fine.
Well, you're probably right. Well, I wanted to finish the curtains anyway.
Right, so I'll see you later.
Bye, Billy Joe.
And lock the door, all right?
I will.
Hello? Pete, I was waiting for your call. Yeah. I know it's not easy. Just tell me. Now, how are things progressing down there? Look, I don't want to hear what you're trying to do. I want to hear what you've done. Yeah. Listen, Pete, you know what's at stake here, don't you? Yeah, that's right. And if Alex Wheeler or that reporter from KVIK continue with that investigation, those missing funds will be traced right back to us. Right. Now, we do have somebody in accounting, right? Okay, now see if they make the necessary changes. That's right, a little creative bookkeeping. Yeah, you see it's worth their while. Well, oh yeah, things go pretty well here, yeah. Stumbled on a little diversion. A little singer named Elena Decker. Yeah, I think she might help me pass the time while I'm winding things up here in Houston. Yeah. What? Oh, that, no, I'm through with Paige Carrington. Yeah, I tried to tell Shaw that this morning, but he didn't seem to get the message. That's like I said yesterday, Pete. I don't think she could have given us much on Wheeler anyway. All right. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.
I haven't the vaguest idea what you're talking about, Iris.
Come now, my dear, there's no use pretending. I know you were at the Packard Hotel.
I am not your dear, and I'm not pretending. Now, you have finished lunch. Why don't you just leave?
I'd be more careful how you spoke to me. Or would you like this information passed on to Dennis?
I don't care, Iris. Do what you like.
I think you do. I think you care very much. Didn't that puny story you told Dennis bother you just a little?
What puny story?
To explain your coming home the other night all black and blue. Oh, you've done a nice job with your makeup, Paige, but it doesn't cover up everything. Like you're lying.
I have work to do if you'll pardon me.
I will not pardon you. I want to know what sordid mess you've gotten yourself involved in. Because I have no intention of standing by while you drag my son down into the filth with you.
You are causing a scene, Iris.
I'll do more than that when I get to the bottom of this.
I have work to do.
Yes, you go. But one of these days, you're going to slip up, Paige. And when you do, I want you to know I'll be there waiting.
Alfredo, has Table 2 been given their check yet?
Yes, it's been taken care of.
Good. The linen service is dropping by today. Would you make sure that we're not shortchanged on napkins again, please? Okay, I think that's everything.
Are you leaving now?
Yes, now that, it's quieted down since lunch, I'm going home and gonna rest for an hour or two. I'm still not feeling in top form.
I'm sorry to hear that, Mrs. Carrington.
Yes, well, if there are any problems, you can call me, Alfredo.
Paige, I didn't hear from... Can I help you?
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Texas.